So yesterday we did an activity where you were practicing the vocab. So now I'm going to go over this more in depth to make sure everyone understands this. So an expression that may contain numbers, operations, and one or more symbols is called an algebraic expression. Make sure you write this with me. Algebraic expression. So basically what that means is it's a math problem that has variables in it. And a variable is just a letter that stands for a number. How I remember this is AL, algebraic, and alphabet both start with A and L. So the algebraic ones have to have at least one letter in them. So that's how I remember that. Algebraic, AL, alphabet, AL. They both start with, or at least have one letter in the problem. So I want you to write your own example of an algebraic expression. So all you're doing is making up a math problem that has at least one letter in it, kind of like this one here. Parts of an algebraic expression are called terms. So terms are every part of the math problem except for the plus signs and the minus signs. So for example, 7x plus 5, the terms are 7x and 5. Everything in the problem that's not a plus sign or a minus sign. So let's try this one together. It says, what are the terms for this algebraic expression? So everything that's not a plus or a minus. So 9, 3x, and 15. Those are the terms. Everything in the problem that's not a plus and not a minus is called a term. The number attached to the variable is called a coefficient. So when you're looking at an algebraic expression, the number that's stuck to the letter is the coefficient. So not the letter itself, but the number stuck to it. Numbers that are by themselves are called constants. They're constantly by themselves, so they're called constants. So this one says identify the coefficient and the constant. So the coefficient is the number attached to the variable. So here's the variable. The number attached to it is 5. So that's the coefficient. The constants are the numbers all by themselves. The number all by itself is 18. So that's the constants. If I said what are the terms, it's not asking that. But if I did say what are the terms, that's every part of the problem except for the pluses or minuses. So that would be the 5x. And the 18, everything that's not a plus or a minus. Okay, so flip this over. To evaluate an algebraic expression, change the variable to the given value and solve using the order of operations. So, for example, 7x minus 2. A number next to a letter means multiply. So I'll put an example here, like a number next to a letter. Something like that. A number next to a letter means multiply. So they're telling us x equals 3. So I'm going to rewrite it as 7 times 3 minus 2. 7x means 7 times whatever x is. X equals 3. Now I do order of operations, so I'm doing PEMDAS. Multiplication would be first. So 21 minus 2, which would be 19. Okay, so I'm going to have you do all the practice ones that I'm going to do now. Only the ones actually that I tell you to do. So if I say just watch, you don't have to do them. Okay, so let's take a look. The first one says identify the terms, coefficients, and constants in each expression. I do not want you to do any of these. I want you to just watch. Okay, so for this one, the terms are going to be everything that's in the problem besides the pluses and minuses. So 5x and 13 are your terms. Everything in the problem that's not a plus or a minus. So I'm going to put T for term, and I'll write 5x and 13. Coefficients are the numbers stuck to the variable. Here's the number that's stuck to the variable. So the coefficient, I'm going to put COE for coefficient, is going to be 5. So not 5x, just the number stuck to the letter. And then the constant, I'll put CON. The constant is the number all by itself, which is 13. Okay, I'm going to try another one. You do not have to do it, just watch. So terms are everything but pluses and minuses. So 2z squared, y, and 3. Everything in the problem that's not a plus or a minus. Coefficient, here's the variable. The number stuck to the front of it. So the exponent has literally nothing to do with this. So the coefficient is 2 because that's the number in front of the letter. And the constants is the number all by itself, which is 3. Notice there's a variable here that doesn't have a number in front of it. If there's no number in front of a variable, you have to pretend that there's a 1 there, and that is also a coefficient. So the coefficients are 2 and 1. So if you have a variable all by itself, you have to pretend there's a 1 in front of it, and that's a coefficient. Now I'm going to have you pause and try these two. So do the same thing. Put a T for terms, COE for coefficient, CON for constant, and name all of the parts to these two problems. So try that on your notes. Okay, if you did those, I want you to pause and try the same thing with these three. Write each expression using exponents. So I'm going to try these two. So don't do them, just listen. We've already done exponents before. This is the same thing only with variables. So the base is going to be d, because that's the variable that keeps being multiplied. There's 4 of them, so d to the 4th power. Okay? For this one, h is going to be the number that's repeated. There's 3 of them, so you put a 3 on top. If there happens to be another number being multiplied, you just attach it as a coefficient. So 1.5 h to the 3rd. So I want you to pause and try these two. So your base is what's being repeated. The exponent is how many times you see it. And then if there happens to be a number, you just put that in front as a coefficient. So pause and try these two. Okay, now we're going to evaluate. This is from the back of your notes. So I want you to just watch, and then I'll give you a couple to try. So k plus 10, k equals 25. Change the k to a 25, add 10, you get 35 for your final answer. Okay, 4 dot n, dot means multiply, just in case you forget. Okay, so n equals 12, that means just 4 times 12, which is 48. So you're going to pause and do these ones on the back of your notes. So change the variable to the number it tells you, do out the math. Okay, now I'm going to try the same thing with division. A divided by B. So A is 16 divided by B, which is 2/3. This is a review of dividing fractions. Make your whole number a fraction by writing it over 1. Keep, change, flip. I could cross cancel these. Multiply across. 24 over 1, which is 24. You're going to try an easier one. The dot means times, so you're just going to change the F to a 7, the G to an 11, and multiply it out. If you've done that, I want you to pause and try all of these. So there's 4 of them. P is 24 and Q is 8 for every single one. So just change the P to a 24, the Q to an 8, and do out the math for all 4 of those. Okay, now we're going to try order of operations ones. So you're going to change the X to a 5 for this one. I'll do this one for you. So 3 times 5 minus 14. And now I'm going to do the order of operations. So 3 times 5 is 15. Take away 14 equals 1. I want you to try this one. This is z to the 2nd power. So 2 to the 2nd power plus 8.5. So that's a review on how to add decimals. So you try that one. Last problem, we'll do this one together. It says you are saving money to buy a skateboard. You begin with $45 and you save $3 each week. The expression 45 plus 3W gives the amount of money you save after W weeks. How much will you have after 4 weeks, 10 weeks, and 20 weeks? So I'm going to make a little chart. I'm going to put a W for weeks and a $sign for money. So the expression we're using is 45 plus 3 times W. Remember, a number next to a letter means multiply. They want to know how much will we have after 4 weeks, 10 weeks, and 20 weeks. So all I'm going to do is change the W to those numbers. So 45 plus 3 times 4, 45 plus 3 times 10, and 45 plus 3 times 20. Now I'm just going to do out the order of operations, which you would always multiply first and then add. So this is 12 plus 45, which is 57. This is 30 plus 45, which is 75. This is 60 plus 45, which is 105. So that would be how much you'd have after 4 weeks, 10 weeks, and 20 weeks. Part B says, after 20 weeks, can you buy the skateboard? So after 20 weeks, you have $105. The skateboard is $125. So no, you still do not have enough money. Okay, so make sure you did all of these, and then you could check in with me.